have a good feeling about this year. I remember when I did a cosmetics inventory for the first time, and half of my stuff was here at my parents' house, but half of my stuff was in my apartment in Bahrain. So it wasn't even all in the same place, and it was still overwhelming. Boxes and boxes and cabinets and bags and more boxes. Absolutely insane. And now this, and I guess technically this, are my only boxes of shame. These are all of my duplicates, things that won't fit into the cabinet, won't fit into the drawers. And there was a time where there was not just one box of shame, it was just like box after box after box. It was just, the whole thing was shame. It was just shame all around. Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living and dream chasing, as well as reformed overconsumer who is now trying to live more minimally, more intentionally, and with less junk. Don't let me tell you, it is a process. This is always my most anticipated video of the year, and I love that because it means that I am not the only spreadsheet nerd out there in the world. I have found my people, because today I'm sharing my 2025 cosmetics inventory, which means yes, I have counted out every single cosmetics item that I own. I have put it into my spreadsheet. I have categorized it by type. I've made my little graphs, and I'm feeling, well, I was gonna say I'm feeling good about it. We'll get into how I feel. Mixed emotions, honestly. The reason I do this is because, like I said, I am a reformed overconsumer. At the end of 2019, I had a come to Jesus moment where I looked around and I was like, good grief, how did we get here? The hoard of stuff I had, not just in terms of cosmetics, but also clothing, books, magazines, homeware, all things. It was just completely out of control, and it was affecting my life in a negative way. Ever since then, I've been working towards a more minimalist and intentional lifestyle, and like I said, it's a journey. And if that's a journey that you would like to join, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What is that noise? There is no way they are cutting the grass right now in that field. It's 2 degrees outside and it's about to rain. All I can do is apologize if you can hear that annoying droning sound, because if I wait much longer to film this, it's gonna be dark. Rude! So first things first, I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet. If you are a spreadsheet nerd like me, then I'm going to link this in the description box down below so that you can download it and use it too. What we're going to do first is look at this 2025 inventory. So on this page, I have my goal number for each product and then the actual number, so we can see how far we are away from actually achieving the end goal that I have in mind. Once we've done that, we will take a little look at how that compares year on year and if I'm moving in the right direction. So let's start with the makeup products. For BB cream, I have 1, which is bang on where I want to be. However, I don't love the BB cream that I have at the moment, so I think I'm going to give it a couple more uses to see if I can get on board with it, and if not, I'm just going to declutter it and get rid of it. Primer, I have 2, which is exactly where I want to be. Foundation, I have 6. This is not ideal, but I am having that age-old problem at the moment where none of my foundations are exactly the right shade. It's like an arts and crafts class every morning. I'm having to mix together different foundation shades on the back of my hand to try and make one that works, which isn't ideal, but it's what we're working with. Concealer, I have 2, which is exactly where I want to be. Setting spray, I have 3, just because it was buy one get one free on my mattifying setting spray, so I have a spare. Setting powder, I have 2. Bronzer, I have 1 because I used up that Revolution Mega Bronzer in my project pan last month, and I took you guys' recommendation and I bought the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, so I'll let you know how I get on with that. Blush, I still have 2. Now 2 is the goal for bronzer and blush. That's because in my ideal world, I'd like to have a cream blush and a cream bronzer as well as powder blush and bronzer. At the moment, I just have 2 powder blushes, but I'm not going to let myself buy a cream blush until I'm down to my last powder blush. I'm sticking with it. I'm trying my best. Use up what you got before you buy new. That is what I'm trying to stick to. Okay, highlights, I have 3 because they take forever to use up. Face palettes, I'm delighted to say that I still have none of those. Eye primers, I don't have any of those anymore, and do you know what? I don't actually feel like I need one, so let's change that down to 0. Single eyeshadows, I have 13, which is not far off of my goal of 11, but we still have a little bit of work to do on that. Eyeshadow palettes, I have 6, which honestly now I'm looking at this goal. So these are the goal numbers that I set at the beginning of last year. I actually haven't reflected on these since the beginning of 2024. So I think I want to change that because I want to have like an everyday palette. I want to have, this sounds ridiculous, I want to have a Halloween palette. Like I want to have a palette with out there colours because I love Halloween, and that's when I like to do my crazy makeup. And I think like maybe a warmer palette. So 3 would probably be ideal for me. Eyeliner, I have 3 at the moment, but one of them is almost done. Mascara, I have 3. Again, one of them is almost done, and one of them was a free gift that I got when I bought my bronzer. Brow pencil, I just have 1. Lip balms, I have 3. Lip primers, I have 1. I don't even feel like that's a necessity. Let's say my goal for that is 0. Lip gloss, I have 7. So we're a little way off achieving my goal for that. Lipsticks, I have 9. Lip liners, I have 2, which is exactly where I want to be. Nail polish, I have 5. This category might get shaken up a little bit this year because I'm going to stop getting gels done. It's so freaking expensive. So I actually might have half a chance of using up all of these nail polishes this year. Nail sprays, I have 1. Perfume, I have 1, which is amazing because at the beginning of last year I had loads. And other, whatever that is, I have 5. So I currently have 82 makeup products, which when you say it out loud is absolutely insane. It doesn't feel like much. I mean, it does feel like much. It's just, it feels like so little compared to what I started with, that I can look in my drawers and think, wow, there's barely anything in here because I can actually see it all. And it's not like all crammed in there, and it's not the same level of ridiculous as it was. And I think I'm starting to get a little too comfortable, right? Because when I first started doing this, I was so horrified. It was like someone had lifted up my rose tinted spectacles and I was like, good grief, how is this my life? How do I own so much stuff? And now, as I've been whittling my way down and working my way through it, the collection's getting smaller and it doesn't seem as problematic to me by comparison. But really, 82 makeup products is stupid. It's stupid. It's not necessary. No, this is why I love doing this. It gives me such perspective. Let's move on to skincare. Okay, you'll see. We'll talk about it. So face cream, I currently have 4 of them, not actively being used. I got a couple gifted to me, and so those are sitting in my backup box. Eye cream, ditto. There are 2 that I'm using at the moment actively, and then 1 is in the backup box. Serums, I have 3. Exfoliators, I have 1. Cleansers, I have 2. Toners, I actually don't have any. All of this is looking really good. Makeup remover, I have 1. Facial sun cream, I have 2. I'm really, with all of these, in the realm of exactly where I want to be, or very close to it. And then, what is this? What is this? Other, 12. And I'll tell you exactly why that is. So I signed up for Dermatica earlier in the year to get tretinoin, and you've heard me talk about it. I'm a big fan, okay? I think it's incredible, but I think there must have been some kind of mix-up with my subscription, because at one point I was getting one of those tubes through my door every like 3rd day. So they've mounted up to the point where like I have 10 of them in my backup box. It's crazy. No one can use that much tretinoin, especially not me. My face is really sensitive. I can't use it every day. So probably almost certainly that is going to expire before I can ever even use it. But yeah, that is what has thrown this number into complete disarray. That is an outlier. That's not normal. I didn't intentionally go out and buy 10 tubes of tretinoin. They were sent to me mistakenly, and now I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. So that is unfortunate because I feel like that's skewing my numbers. And then face masks, I have 8. Now, if you followed my project plan in 2024, then you will know that I worked at using up all of my single-use sheet masks, and I was really excited to bring that number down. And then I reverted to my old ways. I did. I didn't even realize it was happening at that point, but I used up a Primark sheet mask as part of my project pan, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. There's not a Primark all that close to me. Like, I have to make a concerted effort to go and seek out a Primark, and I don't shop often. So the next time I was passing by a Primark, I was like, I may as well go in there and buy like 5. And yes, on one hand that makes sense to buy them while I'm there and then use them over the course of the next couple of months, but also it's leaning back into that old hoarding, overconsumption tendency that I used to have, of one isn't enough, I'll get spares just in case. And while there is logic to that purchase, it's also not a road that I want to go back down. And so I recognize that now. I didn't see it at the time, but now looking at this number, I see that I need to be careful I don't slip back into old habits. I will say that 3 of the masks that I have right now were PR. So I have 2 more Pixie Glow masks. I also have a Banish mask was sent to me last month. So a few of them were just gifted, but yeah, I went into Primark and I bought a bunch of masks. And that's taken me in the opposite direction of where I want to go, and I'm glad that I've spotted it, and now I can be more mindful of that moving forward. So my total for skincare, I have 36 skincare products, which, you know what, up here with the creams and the serums, I'm pretty much there. It's just the 10 tubes of tretinoin and the face masks that have really pushed me in the wrong direction. Now let's talk about toiletries. Okay, so body lotion, I have 2. Body oil, I have 1. Hand cream, I'm back up to 3. These things just creep in, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that obviously I do this inventory right after Christmas. Things like hand cream, soap, bath bombs, I always end up with a bunch of at the beginning of the year because they get gifted to me as Christmas gifts, and I'm okay with that because it means I don't have to spend the money on those things. But it is also it's like, as much as I love it because I enjoy receiving those gifts, I'm also like, yeah, look what you're doing to my spreadsheet though. For cream, I have 0, and I could quite happily live the rest of my life without ever buying any again. Tanning lotion, I have 1. Bath bombs, again, I have 7. Every single one of them was a Christmas gift. Every single one of them will get used up, and it's a nice thing to get as a Christmas gift because I probably wouldn't go out and spend money on fancy bath bombs for myself. So I do appreciate having those for Christmas, and I'm not mad about having 7 of them because I know I will use them up and I know I will really enjoy them. Bubble bath, I have none at the moment, but I do have a bag of bath salts. Soap, I have 13 bars of soap. How did we get back to this point? It is like 1 step forward, 3 steps back with some of these categories. I got gifted a big old box of different soaps, which again is such a nice gift, but I just want to be done with soap. I want to get to a point where I'm like, I currently own 0 bars of soap, and then I can go out and choose one, the one that I want. And it has been, we're into our 5th year of me doing this, and I've never managed to get down to 0 bars of soap. Like, where is all this soap coming from? Because I'm not buying it. Shower gel, we're back up to 4. Again, Christmas gifts. Actually, on that note, it's going to be really interesting to do my 6-month update this year. I always look forward to doing an update in mid-year because it hasn't just been Christmas and it gives me time to finish off a bunch of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. How many shower gels can I use between now and then? Okay, hand wash, I have 1, which is perfectly acceptable. Deodorant, I have 3, but that again is because I get the Wild subscription and they come in packs of 3. Toothpaste, I have 1. Tooth whitening gels, I have 3. Floss, I have 1. Hair removal cream, I have 1. These are good numbers. We like to see 1 of things. But other, I have 8, which I don't love. Body spray, I have 1, and so all in all, I have 51 different toiletries, which like is nowhere near my goal. Not even close. Finally, let's take a look at hair care products. So shampoo, I have 2, and conditioner, I have 2. That is purely because, I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but that's purely because I did a Sephora order before Christmas and they sent me like a bunch of free shampoo and conditioner and hair treatments and stuff, like small sizes. So now I have those. I'm going to use those up in the next upcoming couple of months. I have 1 hair mask. I have 2 hair treatments. I would like to get that down to 1. Hairspray, I have 1. Styling products, I have 11. And without even looking at my running inventory, I'm quite confident that that is more than I had last year. I don't feel bad about that. I do currently have 2 products that I have multiples of when it comes to styling products. My dry shampoo and my hair oil. Everything else is just stuff that's in my routine that I genuinely love. And I did, hold up my hands, I purchased some new hairstyling products this year. I don't regret it. I really like what they've been doing for my hair. And this is not me trying to influence you because this is supposed to be like a de-influencing type video. But I will tell you, because I will say with my full chest, that these products are incredible. And so if you are going to be investing in hair care products, I would rather tell you to get these because I feel like they cover all the bases. It's the Moroccan oil treatment, the hair oil, and then the Moroccan oil mending infusion. So I put this one in my hair when it's wet, and then when I've blow dried it, I put this on the ends. And the things that they have done for my hair, do you see that? Look at that shine. So I don't regret investing in new products. You know, ultimately, I'm not trying to be a minimalist. I'm not trying to have as few of each thing as possible. I'm just trying to curate a collection of things that I love and that I use. And I love and I use those, and I think that's fine. Growth treatments, I have 0, and other, I have 2, which brings my total to 21. I did count up my candles and my essential oils. I don't include those in my running inventory, but I'm always just curious to know. So candles, I'm down to 4. I can't remember how many I had last year. Actually, we could look that up. Okay, so in 2024, I had 13 candles. So I used up 9 candles last year, and I'm going to tell you that pretty much every single one of those was on Halloween as candles for my pumpkins. Those were the most expensive pumpkins because they all had like Yankee candles inside. Okay, so now let's move on to the running inventory, and this is where things get a little bit uncomfortable because I can show you the change year on year in each of my categories. And as you can already see from my graphs, things are not necessarily moving in the right direction. So when it comes to makeup products, in 2024 I had 77 makeup products, and now I'm up to 82. So there's been an increase. So I'm 5 products up on where I was this time last year, and that is not a good feeling. I've tried to be really careful about not slipping into bad habits now that for pretty much most of what's detailed here, I've already used up the stockpile that I started with. The idea of my big makeup use up challenge was, say for instance, if I have 6 concealers, I can't buy a new concealer until I've used all 6 of those up. But now that we're done with the using up of things and I'm just trying to maintain a smaller collection, it is hard because I am out there buying and I am out there looking at the deals, and sometimes it's like, oh, you get a free product, oh, if you buy 2 of these you get 50% off, or you know what I mean? It's very difficult not to get drawn in, and this is where, you know, that's good marketing. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get you to overconsume. They're trying to get you to buy more than you need. And I'm trying to fight that. I did buy a new lipstick in 2024, even though I really shouldn't have, because I still have so many of them. And you know what? I learned a really important lesson, because I bought that lipstick. I loved the colour. The formula was horrible, and so I've used it like 3 times and now I'm decluttering it and getting rid of it. It was this, because a few of you asked me about the colour. I wore it in a couple of videos. It's the Rimmel Lasting Finish in Crimson Desire, and the colour is stunning. It's exactly what I wanted, this really deep burgundy red. The formula sucks, it's awful, but I bought it because it was buy 3 products get 1 free in Superdrug, and I was like, oh, I may as well treat myself to a lipstick. And that's exactly what I don't want to do, is fall into those old habits. Anyway, moving on. Skincare. In 2024 I had 31 skincare products and now I'm up to 36. So again, moving in the opposite direction of where I want to be going. I have 5 more now than I did this time last year. However, when you take into account that I have 10 freaking tubes of tretinoin through no fault of my own, I can kind of justify that, but it still doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be moving in the opposite direction of what I want. In terms of toiletries, in 2024 I had 36 and now I'm up to 51. I gained 15 toiletries. A lot of that has got to be the soap, right? Yes, 10 of those were the soap. I gained a bunch of other, not ideal, not really the outcome I know that we were hoping for. And then finally, hair care. I had 12 last year, I've got 21 this year, so I've gained 9 hair care products. Yikes. Let's look at the overall state of things down here. So, in 2024, I had 156 products total across all categories. This year, I have 190, which means that I've gained 34 products in 2024. I feel like you're all going to be so upset with me. I feel like I've let everyone down, and I know it's so silly because at the grand scheme of life this is not important at all, but it's hard not to feel disappointed in yourself. And I'm looking back and I'm scrambling and thinking, okay, well, I know that I went a little OTT on the face masks, but is there any other area where I, you know, broke my no buy rules and I was buying things I didn't really need? And I can honestly say no. The vast majority of these products that have come into my life have been gifted to me either through like family and friends, or I've had like a couple of PR packages this year. I usually decline PR packages for this very reason. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. The good news is I still have 134 products less now than when I first started. So that's good, but I don't know, I feel like someone's rained on my parade a little bit. In a way, I feel like maybe this had to happen. I had to have this year where I took a step backwards to kind of reassess and reevaluate and remember what I'm trying to achieve. You know, having 190 cosmetics products, it's not where I want to be. It's not what I want to have taking up space in my life, and I am going to make a concerted effort throughout this year to think about how I can make sure that I'm using things up in a meaningful, because I don't want to be wasteful, so in a meaningful but efficient way. Like at the moment, if I'm honest, I'm thinking about it, I have 3 different shower gels that are open and I'm dipping into one and then another, but really I should just use one until it's done, move on to the next, use that until it's done. And that kind of efficiency that I had when I first started this big makeup use up challenge is kind of worn off. That kind of sense of urgency has worn off, because like I said earlier, the collection is getting smaller. I'm using stuff up and getting to the end of things, and it kind of feels like I took my foot off the gas a little bit with it. And maybe this is what I needed to get myself refocused. I was considering not doing a project pan in 2025 just because I didn't really know what I would put in it. As the collection gets smaller, as I have less stuff, it's harder to choose the things that I'm intentionally trying to pan. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, actually, maybe that's kind of necessary. Well, this feels kind of awkward because I know everyone came here expecting things to go differently. So apologies for letting you down. We got some work to do this year. What can I say? Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe if you want to keep up with my videos. You can get my cosmetics inventory down in the description box. Please remember that you are enough just as you are, and I will see you soon. Bye guys!